Hello everyone, welcome back to another Walking Dead video here on the channel. We're going to talk about the possibility of a season 2 of The Ones Who Live, so let's get into it. So yeah, the Ones Who Live is over with. We made it through it, and Rick and Michonne made it home to the kids. And I want to talk about the possibility of season 2, or I don't think we're going to get a season 2. I think we may get another show, probably called something different, a completely different story. But I do think what we saw ended that particular story, and I think we might get more, but it will be like almost want to call them like different chapters. So yeah, we're going to talk about that. I found these behind the scenes photos I thought I would share with you. And I want to tell you, I wanted to get this out to you a little bit earlier, but I've been dealing with a massive migraine today, and it's finally starting to resolve. So yeah, I wanted to get this to you, and I will be doing my breakdown of the Daryl Dixon first looks, I believe is what they call them, or extended trailers. I can't remember. I'll have to look. But yeah, I'm going to get into that. But in this, we're going to talk about some things that I found, some interviews, and a really neat video with Denai. Yeah, so let's get into it. So I found this quote from Andrew Lincoln where he is talking about the opportunity or the possibility of more story. This was from a Screen Rant article. I will share that in the description in case you want to check out the whole article. But he says, "Never say never. There are always important characters in the universe that are still wandering around and alive. And I think it might be quite exciting to have them breathe the same air and see how long they survive together. But it's a difficult one. It would have to be like this, a really exciting story. I think what we've achieved in this series was hopefully a few surprises and character turns and sequences that we haven't seen in 13 years before. That was the exciting proposition, to chop my hand off. I'm sorry, I misread it. Get back together with the love of my life and be reunited, and hopefully smash a few windows along the way and meet some great characters. That was thrilling. That we did episodes and sequences that I'm intensely proud of and we haven't seen before. If that were to come out of Gimple's or Denai's brain and it was irresistible, then I think there's infinite chance that it might happen again, but I don't know when." So yeah, like when Andrew's talking about other important characters, he could be talking about Daryl. We all want to see him reunite with Daryl. We want to see him reunite with Carol. I want to see him reunite with Morgan. I know some of you do, some of you don't, but I really like Morgan, and yeah, I'd love to see that. But in the comic book, there is an arc later pretty late in the comic book where Negan and Rick have to spend some time working together, and I think he could be talking. If there's going to be more story, I think they already have ideas where it could go, and I wonder if he's talking about maybe some kind of adapted storyline where Rick and Negan are in fact together. I would love to see that, because I would love for Rick to know just how much Negan has changed and how he did make the right decision to save his life. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see where that goes, if that's what they're talking about. But that would be really neat. So I also found this really neat clip on X where Denai is addressing the crew. And I think it's near the end of the shoot, because of the way she's talking, and I have a short clip of that for you that I want to show to you, where she's talking about, well, I'll just show it to you.
I wish I'd gotten to know all of you more, and we'll figure it out on the next one for that.
So that makes me really excited to hear her talk about next time. I don't know if the next time will be a completely new story. That's what I think. I think they finished telling the story of how Rick and Michonne got back. They told that story. And I think that, that's all The Ones Who Live was. I don't know if they're done with like the CRM as a villain, but if there's more story, I think there would probably be a new villain, and it would be like something completely different. I did see an article, I can't find it again, but I did see an article where Gimple talks about wanting to do more traditional, I believe is how he said it, Walking Dead stories. And, that would be really neat to see like Rick and Michonne back either at the Commonwealth or at Alexandria. I guess the Commonwealth, and kind of see how Rick goes about just like being a citizen, just like and because he's not the one in charge. We can't expect just because he came back for him to be the leader again. But who knows how that will work out? But I think it will. But yeah, I do have a few more things I want to talk about, and let's get into those. So for those of you that don't know, this is what Rick's prosthetic looks like in the comics, in the comic book. This was after he, so in the comic he loses his hand to the governor. But so yeah, this is his prosthetic, and they apparently they had planned to use this in The Ones Who Live, but I guess it was, they decided against it. But they did take the time to craft this, knowing that it wouldn't be used for long. So to me, that could hint at maybe more story in the future where Rick would be wearing this, because I'm sure it took some time and some money to create this look, and they're not going to want to. I mean, they have the money has to be spent wisely, and this had a massive budget. So I don't know how much something like this would cost to create, but every little bit counts when you're making something like this. But yeah, I thought this was interesting. We do see that there was an alternate ending shot, and that's what you see with the blue screen, and then the top we see just how much Rick show Rick looks like comic book Rick. But yeah, I thought that was very interesting. And seeing like that really makes me wonder if the plan is to maybe do two or maybe even three really long, like seasons. I don't want to say seasons, but like three chapters, three limited series where we see different, completely different stories, completely different villains. Like maybe the next one will be something where Rick is kind of the center, and then maybe in the third one they bring like Negan and. Maybe Morgan will be in the next one, but maybe in the final, the final of whatever they're going to do, they'll bring Negan and Daryl back, and there will be that ultimate story where they all have to come together and face some enemy that we don't know of yet. Gimple has talked about having that Marvel cinematic experience, but like in The Walking Dead. And I could see that happening. And, who knows, maybe that will end with the way the comics end, because at some point there will be an end. We can't expect these characters to play these parts forever. But, I could see them doing that maybe with an adult Judith, or maybe even an adult RJ. So yeah, that's one thing we could have in the future. I don't know how you'd feel about that. I think, I do think that's probably what we're going to. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do all the YouTube stuff, like, share, comment. And if you haven't already, please sub to the channel. It helps more than you know. And guys, I will see you in the next video. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and you want to see more of my content, you can click the box on the left, and that will take you to my The Ones Who Live playlist. You can sub to the channel so you don't miss any future content, or click the box on the right, and that will take you to my most recent upload.